Sharp corners aren't great for design. How do you add a slant, a beveled edge to your designs quickly, and how do you control it to get exactly what you want? In Fusion, go to Modify, find Chamfer, select the edge you care about, pull the handle in, or type in a value, and you're going to get a chamfered edge. Click OK, and there we go. Now let's look a little bit closer at this tool. If we right-click and edit the feature, we have the dialog on the right. We've selected equal distance, which is the most common and standard chamfer that you probably have used. And here we can add additional edges as a part of this solve. Now, it's important to note that you can do different values. So if I now hit this vertical edge, this can be a very different chamfer than the one above. If I then click the plus sign and come in and select this edge, we can make it even bigger. So you're allowed to add additional chamfers all in one feature. And if you click OK, all of those will be stored in this one chamfer. If you click on the model at any point, it should put the 3 hashes above the chamfer that you care about. Now, if we box select everything and choose chamfer, we can chamfer all of the edges on this model. By simply selecting or box selecting, it's actually grabbing all the faces and applying the same chamfer value across all these edges. We can box select everything. We also can simply select a face. If we select this face, all of the edges that are a part of this face are going to be included in the chamfer. Okay, so you're working on a design and you go to add a chamfer and you select this upper face. It's adding these chamfered edges, but it's not what you had in mind. That slope is not what you wanted. If you want more control of the angle, come over to the dialog and choose from distance and angle. Now, the difference between these two is very subtle, but it lets you achieve the same thing just with different sliders or different adjustment tools. Let's look at it. These two handles wake up and they let me adjust how deep this goes and how far back from this edge or face. So you get complete control of the slope and depth for your chamfer. If we come over and choose instead to do the distance and angle, this is going to give you a slider for depth controlling this distance. And then this slider for the angle lets you adjust how that's solving. So very similar, it's just how would you like to achieve it and how would you like to type it in. When it comes to the maximum value of the chamfer you can put in, it's very similar to the way the fillet solves. As soon as this exceeds this edge, the chamfer will start to fail. You can see it goes all the way down and then fails. So keep that in mind. If you need something that it does exceed that face or you want this to cut back, you might need to consider using a cut instead. One thing that is different about the distance or the angle, you're allowed to flip it because you have two different variables. If this is deeper vertically and more shallow coming in, we can flip these values and it'll solve it the other way. So if you want the alternative, you'll notice the dialog over here has the two values. Let's put in a chamfer between these 3 intersecting edges. And then let's talk about how we can control the solution that happens between all 3. If we use equal distance for simplicity, drag this down, you get this corner effect right here. Coming over to the corner type, you can choose, you can see that it's by default set to chamfer. The chamfer or the default, it joins the beveled edges at the corner. The miter, this merges the beveled edges into a mitered corner point or vertex. And then finally the blend method, it's taking the adjacent faces and beveling them together. When it comes to the order of operations between solving chamfers that are basically going to touch, it's not really going to matter if you split it up. So in this case, I want to do a small chamfer here and a large chamfer in the bottom. As they almost intersect, it's going to start to fail. And it doesn't matter if I were to solve this, click OK, and then add this later, it doesn't really matter. This is just the limitation of how the chamfer can solve in Fusion. If only doing this bottom chamfer, once it starts to exceed this edge is where it's going to fail. Now, where the order of operations can matter is sometimes you can get different results. Let's look at this other example. I was looking on Reddit and I saw a really interesting question. They were asking how to achieve this chamfer. You can see there's a chamfer at this edge and then this chamfer that seems to run along this top. Now, if we were trying to achieve the same thing, the order does matter, and I'm going to try to do this in a couple steps. So the first thing I'll do is we'll chamfer the top. So let's do that. We'll come in, choose the chamfer, choose the top face, drag this in. It's a little too steep, so we'll come in and adjust with 2 distance, bring this back and get the angle that I want. Terrific. Click OK. Now right click, repeat, and now I'm going to do this edge. And we'll try equal distance to start. And you can see here's the problem. I don't really like what's happening here. And I don't like it when I try to choose both edges together. You can see this width is slightly different. I don't like how they're solving together. What if instead we come in and start another chamfer and just do the corners this time? We'll do equal distance. We'll get it close. That looks great. And now we'll try to do the chamfer from the top. Right click, repeat, select the top, come in, drag it down. That's looking a lot better. That's closer to what I want. I like the way that's transitioning. And I can come in and use 2 distance to control this even more. Can drag this out to get the angle that I want. This looks pretty good. Click OK. Just remember that the order of operations with your chamfers can give you different results. Now, here's kind of an interesting chamfer fillet question that has come up quite a bit, is how do you create that rounded look on a hex bolt? Looks like a chamfer to me. It's like 60 degrees or whatever. But when I come in and choose chamfer and go all the way around, we'll select the face, pick an angle. It's going to put a consistent chamfer all the way around. That's not what I'm looking for. This is actually what I have in mind. I want this treatment, but only at the corners here. So there's 2 ways to do this, and it's not with chamfer, it's not with fillet. Let's now do a cut. I'm going to start a sketch on this face. I'll select the face, do a sketch, do a circle that goes all the way to the edge from the center. And now we're going to use that to make a cut. But I'm going to also include an outer circle that we can be sure to cut the edges. Now if we go to extruded cut, we select the outer circle and these corners, drag it down. I don't just want to go cut this at a depth. This will chop this down, but not give me what I'm really after. Instead, I'm going to also have it taper out as it's cutting. And so I want it to taper out at roughly 60 degrees. Sometimes I have to adjust or do the opposite, the inverse of the taper angle. We'll try that and click OK. And that looks a lot better. So it's localizing the cuts at just the corners at that 60-degree angle. And just so you know, instead, I did a sketch and a revolve. Let's show that. This is effectively doing the same thing, where we came in with a sketch of just a triangle. That might be simpler. I did this triangle here at the corner, and then I revolved it around the center of this part, giving me a cut that only hits the corners. You can see I didn't get it quite perfect. I have some cutting happening here too, but you can see this is how we can achieve something like this. What about files that you bring in from other CAD systems? SolidWorks, Inventor, a step file from wherever, got it on the interwebs. Anything that you bring in can be modified using the direct editing in Fusion. You don't have the ability to edit the timeline because there is no timeline. That's part of importing files from other systems, but you can use the direct editing. If you saw in my other filleting video, I mentioned the same thing. You can hit Q and you can drag this face up or down and make edits. But even beyond that, if you find a chamfer and hit delete on the keyboard, it will fill that back in or remove it and take it back to the edge. So I can bring this file down back to this more base structure, and then come up and add a series of chamfers that are going to be in the timeline and fully editable for us going forward. Now I have this chamfer, and that's now a feature that I can right click on and edit and change the values anytime I want to. Hey, so in the chamfer tool, there's one little checkbox I didn't really mention yet, and that is the ability to use the tangent chain. This is a selection. So when I come down to select this bottom edge, because this is a line to an arc to a line that's all tangent with each other, when I select this, it wants to select everything together, allowing me to chamfer everything at once because this is checked. If I try again, it did all 8 edges. If I select this edge now, it only selects this one edge, giving me a very different result. So just remember that if you have tangent chain selected, anything that is tangent to the edge you pick will get included. Just as a point of reference, if you had a box and you choose chamfer, none of these edges are actually tangent with each other. So the tangent chain's not going to do much. If I hold Command or Control, then I can come in and select the others and add those chamfers, but it's only going to select one at a time because they are not tangent. Hey, so take some time, experiment with the chamfer tool. Try the 2 distance option, try the angle option. Make sure all those checkboxes make sense and they work for you. Thanks for following along. I'll see you guys in the next video.